Hello and welcome to our 12 days of holiday nail art featuring designs from me, Talia at Talia's Nail Tales, and
from me, Sarah, from Sarah's Nail Secrets. For the next 12 days, we'll be sharing with you 12 different themes of nail art for this time of year.
Talia is a gel tech and Sarah is an acrylic tech, so you will get a special gift of watching 2 different techniques for each theme.
If you recreate any of these designs, please use the hashtag SecretNailTales on social media so we can check them out.
We hope you enjoyed this gift from us, and let's get started. Welcome to day 10, everyone. Day 10 was themed Santa Claus. So I knew that I wanted to do like a Santa Claus face, but other than that, I had no idea and I just kind of winged it. So let's jump into the tutorial here. Let's get started and see how this whole thing unfolded. Taking Light Elegance's oval number 4 gel brush, along with Slaying in Red, this gorgeous red color for this time of year. When I embed my color gels, I first like to apply the majority of my product all over the nail using the brush. After I have the gel product down where I want it, I'm going to go in with Ugly Duckling's Omni tool. This is just a double-ended dotting tool, and I'm going to clean up the cuticles using it. Also going to apply Slaying in Red all over the pinkies. Light Elegance's Perfect White is, in my opinion, the perfect matte white to apply to the nails. I really like using this product when I want a matte look with no sparkle or no pearl because I find the application of this to work really well. I'm not overly a huge fan of white nails. I feel like they're so hard to get to look nice and even, but I do find Perfect White easier to apply than some of the others that I've tried out on the market. I'm going to go in and take Ice Ice Baby, which is this really nice silver with chunky glitters in it and fine glitters. Now, as much as this has a good contrast between fine and chunky glitters, I wanted to add more chunkies to this specific nail, so I took Michael's Recollections Silver Glitter. I use this all the time if I want to add a little bit more pop to the nails. Let's move on to the characters and how I came up with those designs. So I Googled cartoon Santa Claus, as well as cartoon either presents or Santa sack, I can't remember. And these were the 2 images that came up that I thought I could try to recreate. Now the Santa, his look is a little bit more kawaii style, so I was just drawn to his look a little bit more than, say, just a straight cartoon Santa, and I loved his eyes. I thought they were really cool, and that's kind of what makes him look kawaii, if you guys were wondering. So we're gonna move on and we're gonna start with the Santa first. I'm going to take Accent's Gel Play paint in this nude color, which is a perfect skin tone color, along with Ugly Duckling's Detailer number 2 brush, and just begin by applying the nude outline to get the look of his face. When I do hand-painted kind of cartoon designs, I like to start with the part that takes up the majority of the space, and for me that was his face here. So I'm just trying to get the basic outline of his face, then I'm going to go in with a gel brush and just kind of clean up the lines and scrape things a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect though, because I am going to go in with a brush later on and do some of the detailed work. Using Fuzion's White 101, I'm going to start outlining the Santa Claus's beard. I loved how the Santa Claus's beard was a little bit different than some of the other ones that I had seen when I did my quick Google search. With my Omni tool, I'm just going to start outlining the bottom of his hat. You can be messy with this step. It doesn't matter if it's even because, again, we're going to go in and outline it later on. You guys know that I'm all about tying different colors together with the design, so I went in and took some of my Slaying in Red from Light Elegance, and that's going to be the focal point for both his hat as well as the outfit when we get to that step. Coming up right away here. So you've just seen me use 3 different tools to apply the gel to the nail. I like to use a brush to apply the nail if I want to get a lot of the product on, as well as if the design that I'm trying to do is close to the free edge, because it's sometimes just easier to use a brush. But if I need to be a bit more precise with my application, I will use my Omni tool. And if I want to get really fine detailed work, that's when I use my Detailer number 2 brush. With Fuzion's Black 101, I'm going to begin outlining the design here. I like to start with the hat first. I also know that because this is kind of a cartoonish look, my lines don't have to be super perfect. It almost looks a little bit better if they're not super perfect. If you guys want some tips and tricks on how to do fine detailed work, definitely make sure you're watching my Grinch video because I give you a lot more tips and tricks in that video. You might be wondering why I choose to embed my little characters. I just find it easier. That way, if you have any lumps and bumps in the design, once you get the gel layer over top of it, it just smooths everything out. Now this gray color is just one that I made by mixing the black and the white. I'm going to use my Omni tool to do his eyes. Now, you have to make sure that you're applying the eyes, I guess you would say, properly in quotations, because I wanted it to be a kawaii look. So pay attention to where the pupils are, and you'll notice that there's no iris added to the pupil, and that is something that is very kawaii-ish. For the stocking nails, I'm going to continue using some of that slaying in red, and again, when I'm applying it to the nails, I'm kind of doing it in a messy fashion, because once we outline, it's going to add all the details to it. For any of the sort of presents that I'm going to go in and do, I'm using a mix between Fuzion's gel paints as well as some Canada Nail Supplies gel paints and any others that I had in my collection that I felt like the colors matched that I wanted to do. I don't typically mix my gel paints to get a different color, but if you want to, like for this one example, I just mixed a little bit of black to add a darker shade of blue to give it a little bit of dimension. But it's definitely something that will add a lot more variety to your nails collection is if you mix a whole bunch of different colors. But I had quite a few on hand that the colors and shades just match what I was going for with this look. Now I'm paying attention to the picture that I showed you guys a little bit earlier and just kind of basing my design on that, but it's a loosely based design. I just liked the idea of it and I kind of interpreted it to be whatever I wanted. I also changed the colors of the design. Once I have the presents down where I want them, I'm going to go in and outline with the black from Fuzion again. Just continue outlining your presents as well as adding little details such as ribbons or bows to get them to look a little bit more present-ish. But I still wanted this to look cartoony, so if you don't end up adding bows, it's no big deal. If you don't end up adding ribbons, it's no big deal. You just want to make sure you're outlining every little detail because that's what will make it look more like a cartoon. Once I have all the presents outlined, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some dimension and detail to the actual stocking. To make this look more like a stocking, I'm going to outline the white details, then I'm going to add a few little lines at the bottom, which will just make it look, like I said, just more like a stocking. I thought that that was kind of cool, and that's what the picture did as well. I did want to make sure to add a candy cane into the design. I just felt like it made it again look more like a stocking, plus I'm pretty sure the picture had one too. So I'm alternating between the white gel paint and slaying in red, and then I will outline it at the end. Using Light Elegance's Crystal, which is a really nice transparent rainbow multicolored glitter gel, I'm just going to apply this to anywhere that there's any sort of skin tone left on the design. When you get your gel layer on top, the sparkles are just going to pop right through. Now in hindsight, I wish I would have outlined the candy cane first instead of doing the glitter first, because when I went back in to outline the candy cane at the end, it ended up looking a little bit lumpy and bumpy. Now because I'm embedding this, it's seriously not a huge deal, you don't even notice, but it just made outlining it a little bit more difficult. Adding the glitter here is a prime example of why I like to embed these little characters, because if they add any sort of lumps and bumps, you're not even going to tell once you have the gel on top. We're going to jump a bit ahead here and move on to after the gel application and finish file. Taking my Big Bling stamper as well as clear jelly stamper Ready for Anything and Crimson Red, along with their stamping plate under the mistletoe, I'm going to add some little characters to the design that I think kind of tie everything together. I wanted the fireplace to look two-toned, so I'm going to go in and randomly add different spots of the two different red gel polishes, and then after I have it swiped and ready to go, I'm going to apply it to the nails. With the polish Black, as well as Clementine, and You Are My Sunshine, all from Clear Jelly Stamper, I'm just going to apply the fireplace color to the middle, using the Clementine and You Are My Sunshine. Then I'm going to outline in the black. Now you guys don't do what I'm doing here because this was a giant pain in the butt. This was actually an error on my part, and that design that we're working on right now is just strictly the outline of it. So when I applied it to the nails and I realized that the fire was not outlined and it looked kind of funny, that's when I went back in and realized that there was actually a fire stamping layer that I should have done before this one. So that's what I'm showing you guys here. Then I went back in and I took the outline of the fireplace with the fire, removed some of the fireplace image, and tried to stamp the outline of the fire on top of it. In hindsight, I almost should have just gone and redone this entire image. The snowflakes are stamped with the Let It Snow plate, as well as the Diamonds on Ice plate, my two favorite snowflake plates of life. So because this nail is white, I wanted to go in with some red snowflakes, and I had the idea to outline the snowflakes in red and then go in with the ho 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 in the middle, and I thought that would look really cool together. This stamping on the white here just lets you guys know how pigmented the stamping polishes from Clear Jelly Stamper are. They are amazing. My client was the one that picked out this image with the ho ho ho, and I'm glad that she did. So because the other nails are red, I'm going to go in with white stamping snowflakes just to add a little bit more dimension and tie all of the colors together. To apply the Swarovski crystals, I'm going to use Light Elegance's nail glue, these micro swabs I get off of eBay, as well as the Ugly Duckling Blinger tool. The colors I chose to match this design are light cyan, as well as opal crystals, which will tie the white together. This nail is a silver base, so I'm adding my white and red on top of it. Now the large crystal in the middle is an SS20, the ones on the side are SS12s, the ones I'm applying now are SS9s, and then the smaller ones that I use later on here are SS5s. I don't usually like to apply Swarovski crystals on top of glitter nails unless there's going to be a different contrast with them. So in this case, we're doing the silver base with the red and the white on top of it. But just keep in mind when you do Swarovski crystals on top of a glitter nail, sometimes they don't pop out as much as they would if you were to do it on top of a solid color. On the thumbs, I stamped a large snowflake from the Let It Snow plate. I wanted to do this because these are the perfect images to get a large Swarovski crystal in the center. On this particular thumb, I stamped it offset by accident, so if you do that and you want to make it look a bit better, go in and stamp a white small snowflake right on the edge, and that'll clean everything up and make it look like you did it on purpose. Just don't forget to add your Swarovski crystal on top. Our last step is to add our top gloss. I love watching the little characters just pop out as soon as I apply my top gloss. Don't apply top gloss on top of your Swarovski crystals. Instead, take a fine brush and make sure to surround them. Going over top of the crystals will cause them to lose their shine. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the design that I came up with for our Santa Claus themed design. Make sure you head on over to Sarah's channel and see what she came up with. I particularly like the ornaments that she has dangling. I think they're super unique with the glitter chunks to them. Make sure you're following me on all my social media. Don't forget to come back for day 11 tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!